What's going on, everybody? My name is Will Tran and welcome back to another video. And today we're back talking about the Red again, and specifically we're going to be talking about what is in my Red kit. The things that you need in order to get a Red camera to work and function is a screen, a battery, the proprietary Red mini mags right here, and if you're using any other DSMC2 body besides the Raven, you're going to need a lens mount. That's right, Red cameras by themselves do not come with lens mounts, so you do need to get a lens mount for the lenses that you use most often. The Red Raven right here does have a native EF mount, and me being a Canon shooter, I have a ton of Canon glass, so this was perfect for me, and that is pretty much all you need to get the camera running. The Raven kit that I got right here specifically came with two 98 watt-hour IDX V-mount batteries, a small rig top handle, this DSMC2 outrigger handle, a Red 5-inch display, and two 120 gigabyte Red mini mags in its reader. And so this rig by itself absolutely works. I have shot plenty of films with just this rig right here, and it works like a charm, even though I don't have that many accessories to go with it. However, I will be upgrading my kit over time, of course, and so that's what I want to tell you about right now. So I got my list right here, talking about things that I'm about to upgrade. Number one, my buddy Vun actually recommended, and that is the Red 7-inch monitor to go with this guy to replace the 5-inch monitor. This monitor right here, the 5-inch monitor, honestly is not that great. It is a very small monitor. All Red monitors that I have used personally, they all tend to have pretty bad latency. They're not very responsive. Now, of course, you could use the Red app on your phone and connect it to the camera and control your settings from here, but personally, I think that is way too much of a hassle. So I plan to upgrade to the 7-inch monitor sometime down the road. The next thing I'm going to probably get is the Red DSMC2 side handle. That's right. The outrigger handle is cool, don't get me wrong. I do like it. It does make the camera a lot easier to hold. And it actually does have this tiny record button right here. However, I have found it fairly hard to hit this button whenever I'm trying to roll with it. The Red DSMC2 side handle does actually have a bigger button along with a joystick. And that joystick is something that would be really useful whenever I'm just flying this thing by myself. And of course the record button is bigger. The issue with that though is that my outrigger handle right here, as you can see, has a ton of 1/4-20 screws right here, so I can mount pretty much anything that needs a 1/4-20 screw on there if I wanted to. So I would have to find a different way to mount my top handle for that, but I'm very sure there are plenty of other plates and stuff like that that I can stick onto the Raven. Other DSMC2 bodies, I believe, have just a ton of 1/4-20 screws in the body itself on the top, which is really cool, and that's probably the reason why this kit has this outrigger handle. But personally, this button is just so annoying. It's so tiny, I can't hit it perfectly every time. Sometimes I missed split-second moments with that just because of that button. I usually resort to pushing the other record buttons. The third thing on my list I'm gonna be getting is probably a shark fin mount. As I said in the last video, Red cameras eat batteries like crazy. These things take down batteries like it's nothing. They eat these things for breakfast. Even whenever I was using 190 watt V-mount Savage batteries, this camera lasted for probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Granted, I was shooting in 4K 60 in my last shoot, but still, even with such a huge battery that I stuck to the back of it, it still ate the battery like it was nothing, and I had to switch out batteries quite a lot. I haven't had trouble shooting with these 98 watt-hour batteries. I have shot whole films on them. It was kind of annoying, and I tried to keep it connected to DC power as long as I could, but sometimes I don't have that kind of luxury, so I am thinking about getting a shark fin just so I can stick 2 batteries on here and have the camera never die. Now, speaking of batteries, I am also looking at getting bigger batteries for this thing. The 98 watt-hour batteries, they only last me maybe about like 45 minutes to an hour, so not that much battery power coming out of these guys, and that's to be expected. It's a 98 watt-hour battery, so I'm thinking at maybe getting some 190 watt batteries, like the Savage batteries I was talking about. And I even looked at the GDU batteries that are like fully metal and stuff like that, but I don't really know whether or not they're any good. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any experience with those batteries. But the GDU batteries are, for one thing, they look pretty, and I'm a very big aesthetics guy, but I don't know whether or not I should drop a couple $100s on a battery that does the same job as a normal battery, but just looks cooler. So, I mean, they're also more robust, like they are fully metal. I'm not sure, but I will be looking into bigger batteries like the 190 watt Savage batteries. And as of right now, the final thing on this list that I'm about to get for the Red is more Red mini mags. Of course, I'm probably gonna be getting used mags because, well, for one thing, they don't manufacture any DSMC2 parts anymore, I don't believe. Second of all, these things are just not cheap. They're really not. They're probably about like $600, $700 to maybe like $1,200. 120 gigabytes actually isn't too bad for me because I don't actually shoot in very low compression all the time. I'm actually shooting in fairly high compression the majority of the time. However, I still think I could use a little bit more space. I'm thinking about getting 1 or 2 480 gigabyte Red mini mags, or even one 1 terabyte Red mini mag. Of course, down the line, I'm gonna be getting a lot more of these mags right here. Luckily, these have never failed on me. Thank God, let's knock on wood that it never happens. But I can definitely see storage becoming a little bit of an issue because I only have roughly 240 gigabytes worth of card space. So I definitely need a lot more than that. I don't want to have to keep ripping cards out and then DITing it and then putting another one in. And sometimes I don't even have the ability to DIT. Sometimes I'm on a one-man band shoot and I just don't have the time to do it. So definitely thinking about getting more Red mini mags, bigger ones at that as well. I also heard from some people that people name their mags. Whenever I got these mags right here, one of them was called Simone and the other one right here was called Three-Eyed. If that's the case, I'll be naming these mags something quite soon. So that's pretty much it about the list of things that I'm about to add to my Red Raven build right here. If you guys have any other suggestions that you think could improve this build, please let me know in the comments down below. I could absolutely use your suggestions. Doesn't have to be first party accessories as well. Of course, third party, I'm all for it. But other than that, if you made it to the end of this video, dude, you know I appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down there if you're new. And I also recommend that you watch this video next. It's the last video I did on the Red. And if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.